Good evening, you guys. How are you? Let me know how the volume is. Welcome here to Virgo Witch Goddess. We're doing a special tribute tonight. This is going to be a live call in segment where we are paying salute to all the ladies who have suffered at the hands of domestic violence. So tonight is a special segment. We are allowing everyone to call in who can relate to this touchy subject. How are you? How are you, Samara? How are you, Lady J? How's the volume? First of all, how's the volume? Is the volume good? Can you hear me loud and clear? Wonderful. Okay. So tonight's topic, of course, we're paying a special tribute to all the women who have once upon a time suffered domestic violence, to all the women out there, young ladies, women, whoever, and even men suffer at the hands of domestic violence sometimes as well. So tonight we're doing a special live tribute call in. Call ins is welcome. If you care to share your story on domestic violence, please call in at area code 347-483-9616. Again, that phone number is area code 347-483-9616. We are live on the air with Virgo Witch Goddess. Feel free to post that number on the screen so that everyone can also see it. And so we are going to be discussing, what it's like firsthand to be mistreated and disrespected, to become a victim of domestic violence, and I mean, because there are a lot of mothers who are out here in today's world, who know firsthand what that is all, what that's about, what that's like. We have had many women who have suffered, and because of domestic violence, they either lost their home, lost their kids, not just became a victim of domestic violence, but was also placed in homeless shelters. You understand what I'm saying? And so tonight I wanted to do something a little different, so hopefully we will get more people to log on to those people who have respect for this subject, because this is a touchy subject. So hopefully we could get more people to log on. Again, this is a special tribute to those women who have suffered at the hands of domestic violence. I know myself, once upon a time, a mother of five, I suffered domestic violence from my first husband, my ex-husband, and it was a bad situation. I know too well what it's like to suffer and have a man blacken your eye, bloody your nose, bust your lip, crack your teeth. I've been through all that. I know what it's like to have someone stalk you and become very controlling and manipulate you and lie to you and cheat on you and go out and make other babies and get other women pregnant while you're pregnant. I've been through all that. I know what it's like to be in a domestic violence shelter for women of abuse. I've been through that, and so you said good even. Mental abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. Exactly. Mental abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. Exactly. And so that's why I wanted to do this special tribute tonight and come on up here and do, live call-in so that we could allow other women to call in and share their story and share their strength, and they hope, because often I come up here and I give free readings. But, at the end of the day, we want to be able to reach out, not just talk about, tarot cards, what's going on in the world of tarot, because I will do that as well. But tonight I wanted to really come across and, give back and have other women, log on and join this live and not be afraid to speak up about domestic violence and mental, emotional, and verbal abuse, and how people, suffer nervous breakdowns, you know what I'm saying, behind this subject. Because too often people hide and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to speak up about it, and so today's segment is definitely paying tribute to all the women who have suffered domestic violence or some sort of mental emotional abuse. I'm surprised we don't have more people, logging on, because if I was doing a reading, then everybody would have their ass up here logging on. But when I'm talking about something serious and something real and something important, people don't care to want to log on. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. And I think it's sad because, you would think that people would be interested in this because it's real. You know what I'm saying? This is a real matter. This is a real subject. Many women find themselves in situations and then find themselves stuck to these toxic relationships. You know what I'm saying? You have women who get themselves in situations and they don't understand why it is they attach to a narcissist, energy vampire. They don't understand why it is they're being disrespected, used, and abused. And then they come up here looking for somebody to help them. They want to know. And often you have women that are addicted to men who beat on women. There are a lot of women who will turn around and take a man back over and over and over again, time and time and time again, and allow this same man to smack them up and control them, move them in their house with their children, and then later this man will turn around and abuse your children. There have been plenty of women who have found themselves involved with a man and later, discovered that this man not only abused them, but this man turned around and later abused their children. Many young girls and young boys have been sexually assaulted by their mom's boyfriend or their mom's husband or their mom's fiance. You know, this is a serious discussion that needs to be dealt with, that needs to be talked about, that too many people tend to sweep under the rug. And I feel like, like I said, women are not the only ones who suffer at the hands of abuse. There are men who find themselves often getting involved with women who are very controlling, who tend to become very verbal, emotional, abusive toward their man. Where you have women where if they man don't do what they say, the women, you have women that become stalkish and they tend to stalk their man and they tend to become obsessive. You said I've had a stroke and can't speak properly, Samira. It's okay. Hello, how you doing, Mr. We're trying to get everyone to come in and log on tonight. This is a special tribute tonight where we're doing live calling segment. The area code is 347-483-9616. I'm allowing women to call in and have your voice be heard. If it's something that you wish to share on this topic, by all means, feel free to, speak about it. Yes, we on live here at Virgo Witch Goddess. Please feel free to call in at 347-483-9616 if you wish to share a little something on this subject, because this is a very personal matter that I myself can relate to. And too often I have too many people who you said I would like to call you. Okay, the phone number is 347-483-9616 if you wish to call in and speak on this subject tonight of domestic violence. Okay, so we're talking about overcoming domestic violence. Yes, someone please type in the number. Okay, please type in the number on the screen. Again, that number is 347 area code 483-9616. I placed it in the description. Again, that phone number is 347-483-9616. You understand? And so I come here because I want to speak to my other ladies out here around the world, around the globe, who can relate to this topic. I'm a mother of 5. I have 4 daughters and 1 son, and I know too well what this situation is like. And once upon a time, I was married twice. Both times I went out and I attracted someone who was a drug addict, a drug dealer, an alcoholic, a gang banger. My children's father, he was out there on the streets involved in gangs, in and out of prison, gun charges, assault charges, and so I've been through that. You know what I'm saying? And then my second husband, he was a crack addict and an alcoholic and a liar and a cheater. So I suffered verbal, mental, emotional abuse with that situation. So I know what it's like to be, a mother going through domestic violence. I know what it's like to be a wife suffering domestic violence. I know the struggle. I know how painful it is. I know the struggle of being, breastfeeding, pregnant, back to back, and having a man, just control you and overpower you. You understand what I'm saying? And so too many young women are suffering behind closed doors and don't want people to know that behind closed doors, their relationship is toxic as hell. You know, you got a lot of these young girls that get out here and they become strippers, you know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of young ladies that be on these poles that, you know, got these dreams in the back of their head. They want to be the next Cardi B or the Megan Stallion. And you see these girls get out here in these strip clubs and they up and down these poles and they attracting the wrong type of dudes. You understand what I'm saying? Thinking they gonna get up in the hip hop industry. You know, I know what that's like too, because I used to be a recording rap artist. I used to be a co-producer. I used to be a writer. I know all about the game of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop, R&B, the music industry. I know the ins and the outs. You understand what I'm saying? And too often, a lot of young girls find themselves on the strip poles and they get in here, you know, and they get caught up with these dudes that come in with this, you know, these not of money, looking good, you know, and often they find themselves attracting the wrong type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? Dudes who are drug dealers, you know, dudes who are out here, you know, they driving on these nice whips and stuff. But then they find out that they not the only shorty that dude is rapping with. You know what I'm saying? They get caught up on this dude and they find out later that he's been cheating on them, playing them, and that's, you know, you got females fighting over this one sorry dude who's out here sleeping around. You know, often a lot of women will move their man in. Thank you for putting that number on the screen, Samira. I appreciate that. The number is on the screen. Okay, so if you feel like you want to call in and you want to speak on this subject, please call in. That area code is 347-483-9616. This is a live segment tonight where we are paying tribute to all those women who have suffered domestic violence, who had to overcome domestic violence, who know what it's like to be assaulted, who knows what it's like to suffer with mental, emotional, verbal abuse behind closed doors. Women who have lost their children to the system, to child protective services, where your kids may have been taken and put in foster care because you got yourself caught up with the wrong person. You know, you ended up in a homeless shelter. You ended up homeless. You ended up evicted. You lost your job. You understand what I'm saying? You know, women, not only do you suffer at the hands of domestic violence and domestic abuse, but many women find themselves suffering with suicidal thoughts. There's been plenty of young ladies who have committed suicide because they didn't have no other way out, so there are plenty of women who get themselves caught up in this situation where they become, so damaged and so broken and so traumatized. You understand what I'm saying? That they later start suffering with depression, deep dark depression. They can't sleep. They having nightmares. They have to hide in their own house because every time, you know what I'm saying, the boyfriend or the husband come home, they already know what's getting ready to happen. They know he's getting ready to tear the house up, especially if you're dealing with a guy who's an alcoholic, or, someone who sleeps around. He's a drug dealer. He's a drug addict. He's smoking up his own products. You understand what I'm saying? You moving this dude in your house and now he's bringing drugs into your home. He's bringing all types of other, bad influences into your home. You got somebody who's inviting all his friends over to your home. I know, I've been through this. I know what it's like to have, that one person who comes in and you try to be there and you try to hold him down and you try to support what it is he doing. And next thing you know, you got a house full of drug dealers. I've been there. I can relate to this shit. You understand what I'm saying? I speak from my own experiences. I know what it's like to have a group, have a crowd around your house. Everybody wants to be a part of your lifestyle when they see you balling. People see you spending money, having pool parties and cookouts, and everybody would come to your house and gamble and play cards. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody want to come to your crib because they know you the popular female stripper on the pole. You understand what I'm saying? So, this is a serious situation and it needs to be talked about, because too many females are out here and they keep attracting the same type of dude over and over again. And the main reason why they stuck with him is because what they say, the sex is good. I can't get over. I love the oral sex. I love the penetration. We have a sexual chemistry. But then behind closed doors, you can't even date dude in public because he's married and he has a wife. You understand what I'm saying? He has a whole nother family at home, wife and kids. Then you see a lot of side chicks. They out here getting pregnant by this dude who's married to somebody else. They out here sleeping with this dude who has, a wife, a baby mama, a side chick, an outside girlfriend. You out here sleeping with the same dude, and y'all sharing this dude, and this dude is going from pillar to post. He's knocking on your door, her door, her door, her door, telling everybody the same shit, and y'all thinking this is love. It's not love. You attracting a damn narcissist. You attracting an energy vampire. Sometimes these dudes is coming in your house to see what you have. You feeding them, you fucking them, you sucking their dick, you supporting their habit, you buying them shit, and they don't give a fuck about you. At the end of the day, you can't even ask this motherfucker for $2. Okay, the only time he looking at your ass is at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You understand what I'm saying? He's booty calling you. He's pulling up at your door late at night so nobody can see him. He getting in, okay? He comes in. You fuck him, you suck him, then he gets up, he leaves. You know what I'm saying? And then he manipulates you later. He says all kind of fucked up shit to you. He becomes a trigger for you. He starts abusing you verbally, mentally, emotionally. He starts saying all types of fucked up shit, texting you, stalking you, becoming obsessive over you. Meantime, he has a whole wife and kids at home where he's living an undercover lifestyle that nobody's really aware of. You understand what I'm saying? So this is an important matter because often you got a lot of side chicks who find themselves fucking around with dudes who got a wife, and then this dude who's married, he's coming around you and he's smacking you up. He's controlling your ass. He's taking your money, but he don't do that to his wife. Exactly. And the kids are the ones who tend to suffer behind this situation. you know and like I said, a lot, and we have guys who suffer with verbal, mental, emotional abuse as well, but you're not going to find too many men who's going to speak on that. We have men out here in the world who get caught up with the wrong chick. You know what I'm saying? They get caught up with this chick who's materialistic. They get caught up with this chick who's very verbal abusive, very mental abusive, very emotional abusive. They get caught up with females that want to become obsessive and stalk and blowing up their phone. But you're not going to hear men talk about it. Because men don't want to appear weak. They don't want to appear vulnerable. And they find themselves stuck in a situation with a baby mama. And so, it goes both ways. You feel me? And so, like I said, if you wish to call in and share your story, the area code is 347-483-9616. So if you want to call in and speak live and share something about this subject, again, feel free to call in at 347-483-9616. This is a live segment. This is a call-in segment. This is a special segment where we are speaking on domestic violence. Okay, so anybody who can relate to this subject, please feel free to call in. This, if I was doing a live tarot, everybody would be up on this screen. You feel me? But because we're doing a segment about domestic violence, nobody wants to get up here now, and I think that's crazy. But if I'm doing a free reading, then the whole damn world will get up here, and so basically I want to hear what other people, what are your thoughts about this matter? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about the situation or the subject when it comes to domestic violence? How many people can relate to being mistreated by somebody? How many people can relate to thinking you in love with somebody who really don't give a fuck about you? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is a crazy matter, but I do appreciate those of you who are tuned in right now, who are giving this, you're giving this a thumbs up. So if you can relate to this and you appreciate this segment, then please, by all means, do give it a thumbs up, because too often this subject is swept under the rug. And then I have a lot of females who want me to, who call me for a private reading because they want to know what can they do to get back their baby's daddy who's beating their ass, or why is he mistreating them, or they sitting here waiting for this dude who's married and has a wife and a family, but they still sleeping with this dude. Meanwhile, he's out in the street doing him. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's a crazy situation, And so I want to hear from you guys. I mean, put up there in the comment section, get in the comment section. Let me know, what you think about this situation when it comes to domestic violence. How many people have ever lost anybody close to you who suffered with being abused by somebody? I know I lost my best friend when she was 32 years old. She had a daughter and a son, 11 and 13, and she died of full-blown HIV/AIDS, and she didn't find out until the last minute. You understand that she took very ill. And when she was healthy, she was in a long-term relationship with her boyfriend for like, 5 years. You understand? And she took care of him and she bought him all kinds of clothes. She moved him in her house. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, dude was out here slinging dope, cheating on her, having other females, and he would verbal abuse her and mental emotionally abuse her, where she suffered depression and she started falling downhill. All the guys was attracted to her because she was an attractive young lady, down to earth. We would go out and hang out, but then when she took sick, dude act like he didn't know her, when chances are he probably was the one who brought it to her. You understand? And so, this is a fucked up situation when you're dealing with somebody who is mistreating you and you're having unprotected sex with this person and he's going out sleeping with other people, multiple people, and he's getting people pregnant. You said someone please type the right number. That number again, the area code is 347. Okay, the area code is 347-483-9616. It's in the description. I put it in the description. Again, that phone number is 347-483-9616. 347-483-9616. Okay, so if you wish to call in and discuss this situation that we're talking about, domestic violence, okay, even rape, okay, because I know what that's like too. I once upon a time I was a victim of rape. At 19 years old, I found myself brutally attacked and viciously assaulted by my best friend's brother one night. I was walking and I took the shortcut trying to go to my boyfriend's house from my cousin's house, coming through a path, and he came up and he was intoxicated, he was drunk, and he roughed me up and dragged me in the woods, and then a couple of days later he broke into my cousin's apartment when she was at work and he roughed me up and he raped me again. And I said about 4 months later, after, I went to the hospital, I was all abusive. And then later, I say I was about 3.5 months pregnant. And I discovered that I had conceived from this rape, And so my oldest child, who's 31, I conceived her in rape, and it took me 5 years to bring that case to trial. Yes, I did press charges, but because he was an athlete, all in school and college, he was a basketball player, he was a football player, then he later became a professional boxer. And so he was in the industry. And so, he ended up getting married later. And it was my word against his word. And I had to request, a DNA test and a bone marrow test. And so we took 3 different types of DNA tests and 3 different types of bone marrow tests. And each test came back 99.99.99 that he was the father of my daughter. And so when my daughter was 5, I had to drag her in the courthouse with me because she didn't even know. I didn't want her to know who her real father was. I didn't want her to have no idea about this. And so there I was in a courtroom with my grandmother and my 5-year-old daughter sitting across her father and his mom and his sister, who was my best friends. You understand what I'm saying? And so this was a harsh reality for my child to discover who her real father was. And long story short, in this court trial, the judge asked me what did I wish to do, because my daughter's father had denied her 7 times, and he tried to say that he wasn't the father. And the judge told him in court, you try to deny this child over and over again, only to find out that this is in fact your child. And we have proof and evidence that you, viciously, brutally raped and assaulted, your child's mother. And so when the judge asked me what did I want to do, did I wish to follow through with the charges and press charges and have him sent away to prison, or I can make him pay child support. This is a painful story for me because I got tears in my eyes right now because this shit is real. You understand what I'm saying? And so, because me and his sister, we was best friends. And so his mother and my mother were also friends, where his mother would come over to my grandmother's house, would have tea or coffee, whatever have you. And so when the judge asked me what did I wish to do, I told the judge, y'all let this man go free for 5 years. You made me drag my daughter in this courtroom. And it's like, I told the judge I didn't want to press charges no more because he don't walk free for 5 years. So, If you want to make him pay child support, that's fine. I don't give a shit about that either because I've been raising my child all by my damn self without him anyway. You understand what I'm saying? And so, let me see who we have on the lines. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Jean, calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm holding. I'm sitting here sharing this story, and it's so deep.
I know because everything you're saying, I went through in my life, all
Mm.
of it. And even when you was just talking about your dad, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the main what I'm going through right now is the last person I made a child with.
Mm-hmm.
Been with for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Complete narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, basically, after got pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was around.
Mm-hmm.
And probably 5 months after I had the baby, just he started to be really distant,
Mm-hmm.
and basically just I broke down. I couldn't take
Right.
it no more. I was
Right.
like, had a baby, had
Mm-hmm.
three other children. I'm homeschooling them,
Mm-hmm.
working, I'm doing all these things,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm finding out, him being doing crack and
Mm-hmm.
alcohol and
Mm-hmm.
all these things
Mm-hmm.
hit me at once after I had the baby. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to end that relationship, and after that, he started to really mistreat me as far as my son doing what he needs to do. Yes, he did do child support, but as far as getting him and all this other stuff, he didn't really want to do it. Only time he wanted to do it is when his family was around.
Right.
And probably maybe over a year ago, he got in a new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He was really distant, like really didn't have no interest in his son.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably 6 months in, he just texts me. He's like, I don't have to do shit besides pay his child support.
Right.
And now, because I guess the woman is want the child around now, he's pressuring me,
Mm-hmm.
messing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like when we get on the phone, he triggers and say certain things for me, knowing I'm going to cut him off
Right.
and not talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just don't want to tell that woman what he really did to me.
Right.
To my son, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He trying to play like I'm just trying to keep my son away from him.
Right.
And that's not the truth.
Right.
He comes around, he does good for a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and then he disappears. He starts acting up.
Right.
And that relationship was mental, physical abuse. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to lie
Mm-hmm.
and say I ain't say things to him.
Right.
Didn't get in his face.
Right.
I did.
Right. Right. Right.
But I know I did not deserve the treatment that I got.
Exactly.
I did a lot.
Exactly. Exactly. I appreciate you so much, for calling and sharing your story because a lot of people are afraid to speak up on this. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that we need more women to come together and speak up on this subject because this is a very deep, this is a very deep personal subject. You understand? I suffered domestic violence. My ex-husband he beat me severely. 4 times he had me pregnant and I tried to abort one of my children. I thank God I didn't, but because I was so afraid of him, his mother took me down to the Department of Social Services to try to see how I can have an abortion because after I got pregnant after I had my son, I said I didn't want no more kids. You understand? I had 3 kids at this point. And my ex-husband was still beating on me. And when he found out I was trying to abort his child, he came and he beat the hell out of me. You understand what I'm saying? And so even when I tried to press charges, it was a time when I had him arrested and the police came and arrested him. But because he was a drug dealer, he was selling dope to dirty cops. I had dirty cops coming to my house buying drugs from my ex-husband. You understand what I'm saying? So there was a time when they came and arrested my husband from my home and he went to the magistrate office and he bailed himself out. And then he came right back home.
Wow.
So, while I was in the process of trying to pack my shit and get away from him, he had the money in his pocket to pay his own bond. And I think back
Yeah,
then
but that's
is back then
yeah,
it was like 15 on every 100. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so
I
back then,
understand.
even for smacking a chick, it was only like $65. You understand what I'm saying? That's sad,
Yeah,
And so just the thought of knowing that a man could beat his wife or beat his child's mother and go to the magistrate office after being arrested and having proof that you standing there with a busted lip and a black eye and a bloody nose, and because he's selling drugs to dirty cops, they took him to the magistrate office. He paid his own bond, and then he came right back home after whooping my ass. You understand what I'm saying? And so
I,
I was traumatized. I was scared to death because I just knew he was going to kill me. You understand what I'm saying? And so for me to have to live that type of lifestyle, and I was in my 20s, you understand? And so I was with my children's father for like 10 years, okay? And so we have 4 kids together. And after the first 2 kids, I didn't want no more by him. And so when I got pregnant
right,
with the third child and he did what he did to me, and I tried to abort my third pregnancy, but he wouldn't let me. We had separated, and he went to one of his other baby mamas or female who he got pregnant. And then later on, I found myself struggling with 3 kids. And so I took him back because he started getting real sweet and acting like he was going to change, and I wanted to believe him. You understand what I'm saying? And so I
I
took
do.
him back,
That makes
thinking that he had, that he felt bad for how he treated me. And so when I took him back, I ended up getting pregnant a fourth time. You understand? And so he didn't change. You understand? So long story short is that I know what it's like to have a man constantly whipping my ass, even when I tried to get on a pill, and I offered to bring home condoms to him, and I had the like the foam, the stuff they give you at the health department. I came
right.
home and I hid my birth control pills because I didn't want him knowing that I was taking the pill. You understand? And then one
Right,
night he found the pill while I was in the kitchen cooking dinner. And when he found my pills, he came in and he threw my birth control pills at me, and he took all the rest of my pills and he flushed them down the toilet, and he cut up all my stuff and he threw my stuff out the yard, the back door, and he started beating on me because he saw that I was on the pill. You understand? And
right,
so I know what it's like to suffer domestic violence. I know what it's like to be raped. You understand what I'm saying? And conceive in
yeah,
that rape, and have a man deny it and say that he didn't rape me and that he didn't get me pregnant. And I know it's like to wait 5 years to bring this bastard to trial, and for him to deny his daughter. You understand what I'm saying? And she's standing here looking at him at 5 years old. Later on, long story short, he disappeared. He moved on with his life. He got remarried. He became a professional boxer after becoming a football player. You understand what I'm saying? He had moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. And so he had 2 other kids. And he didn't enter into my daughter's life later until she was around 26, 27. And it was up to her. She started calling around looking for her father because, most kids, they want to know, where they father at, how come daddy's not in the picture. You understand? And so for a long time, my daughter, I guess she wanted to confront her father and, get to know him. And so she reached out and she ended up finding a phone number where he later called her back, and the two of them developed a daughter-father relationship, because by this time my daughter is married now and have kids of her own. You understand? And so I told my daughter, whatever you do, don't be nowhere alone with your father. I understand you want to meet him, confront him. Okay, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Just do me a favor. Don't allow him to pick up none of my grandkids and put none of my grandkids on his lap. Don't allow him to kiss them, none of that. You understand? Because this is a situation that I had to live with my entire life. You feel me? And so,
right,
slowly but surely, her father's been in her life off and on now. My oldest daughter, she's 31. And so I have 4 kids by my ex-husband, and she was conceived and raped. She is the oldest, okay? And so this has been a situation that I had to deal with my entire life. And that's been a sad situation. This is my reality.
right,
And then my ex-husband, because he was beating on me all throughout my pregnancy, my daughter came out disabled. She came out disabled. She was born with myositis muscular dystrophy, with damaged bones and joints, and she's a drawer. She's 27 years old, and she's like 4 feet 5, 4 feet 6. And I had to put her, she was placed in what you call it, a home for disabled challenged adults. You know what I'm saying? Handicapped adults,
Yeah.
because I had to work. You understand? And in the process of me suffering, I ended up getting sick where not only was I depressed and I had suicidal thoughts, I tried to kill myself. I OD'd prescription pills and
Right.
cocaine. I tried to kill myself, okay?
Yep.
Hospitalized for almost a
Yep.
week, and I later suffered with cervical ovarian cancer, okay, where I had to undergo, radiation treatment and all at the age of 30, thinking that all the
Wow.
cancer was gone just for it to come back later. And I suffered thyroid cancer. You understand what I'm saying? Where the cancer was spreading through my body. So I was on my deathbed, okay? And my kids was placed in a temporary foster care system because I didn't have any family support. I didn't have anybody in my family who gave a fuck to help me in this situation.
God, that's what I'm going through right now.
You understand? So I had to survive the best way I could in this situation. So now cancer free, but I still suffer with thyroid grave disease. You understand what I'm saying? I suffer with osteoporosis in my spine and scoliosis, where I suffered fractured ribs from domestic violence. My father
Wow.
was an alcoholic, even though my father was in the military. After my father, came out of the military, he was an army man, hard working. Later came out and had a good career, but behind closed doors, my father was beating up on his wife. After him, my mother, my father been married like 3 times. After him and my mom separated, my father later moved on. He got married 2 more times. And so my father has all girls. I have 3 younger sisters and 1 younger brother. I'm the oldest out of five.
Oh,
And so
wow.
at 17, I went to find my father. Okay, at 17, I went to live with him for about a year, only to discover that behind closed doors, my father was beating up on his third wife. He was beating her
Mm.
ass, and he was an alcoholic, and he had a good career. But
Yep.
behind closed doors, he was like, like I said, alcohol ended up eating up his liver. And my father died with prostate cancer at the age of 48, 49 on Father's Day in 1996. So to lose
Wow.
my father to prostate cancer, knowing that he was an alcoholic, knowing that he was beating up on his third wife, knowing that even I became a victim of my father. My father started beating on me severely, even when I was 17. My father abused me mentally, emotionally, verbally, physically. It was a terrible situation for me to have to be in, and I ran away and I escaped that situation. I never looked back. And the last time I seen my father, he was dead in a casket,
Wow.
and cancer had took him out of here. And so that was rough because that was on Father's Day. He died early in the morning. He passed away on Father's Day. So to lose a father on Father's Day,
Wow.
knowing that he was an alcoholic and knowing that he too suffered with drugs in his younger years, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I had a lot on my plate, and then my mother in her younger years, my mother, when she was in her 20s and 30s, my mother was a drug addict, you understand? And so she was out there trying to, doing things, living that lifestyle, caught up in the streets of New York City, on drugs, alcohol. And my mother went to prison, only to get out and get involved with a guy who she thought was the one, that he started beating on my mother. So, now my mother's drug free and doing good. Mother's 72 years old, but it's sad to know that I have this situation where I come from a dysfunctional, damaged, broken home
Yeah.
as a child growing up in the streets in New
Yep.
York City, where I had to pretty much, go looking for love in the wrong places. You understand what I'm
Places.
saying?
Yeah.
So
And you have a mother and father that didn't teach you that to take care of
right,
her.
right, and so, but
Circumstances,
right,
failures, and all that.
right, and so because both of my parents was fucked up on drugs and alcohol and slinging drugs
Right.
in the street, I went out looking for love in the wrong places, only to find a man who was just like my father.
My father. Yep.
You
Yep.
understand what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. It
And
just got worse each
it
semester.
right,
It just
right.
got
And
worse.
I found myself stuck and entrapped in this situation, this damn repeated cycle that I was in for so
Right.
long. You understand? That it's
Right.
amazing that I ended up surviving this situation.
I
You
know.
understand that people have no idea. This is why I speak about it. Because I know what it's like to have to walk around with a black eye, a broken nose, cracked teeth. My ex-husband, he cracked my whole top row teeth from the right side. I had to undergo dental cosmetic surgery, okay, with it, where I had to have the inside of my face cut out on both sides just so the doctor could even out my face, because my face was so fucked up from being beat up on. You understand what I'm saying? And so I know what it's like to have, fractured, cracked ribs. My children's father, he broke my pelvic bone. You understand what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to suffer with this right here. And people don't have no idea what this situation does to them. You understand?
Oh
And
my
this is the
God.
harsh reality that I had to overcome as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, you know? And so
Yeah, a lot of
today,
people don't understand that.
right,
Nobody.
right,
And not even family members, even the ones who witnessed or at
right,
least heard, they don't have no sympathy for nothing.
right,
That's why I'm so like,
exactly. Exactly. So today I don't have no family support,
because
you
it didn't
know.
happen to them.
Right,
It wasn't that
exactly. And
bad.
then, then a lot of family members turn on each other, because my mother
Yes.
had a sister and a brother, both of her sister and brother, they both dead now, so my mother's the last survivor. Plus, she lost her mother and her father. So, it's like as you get older, you start losing loved ones. You feel me? Because
Yeah.
now today I'm 51 years old. My kids are stair steps. My oldest is 31. My baby's 26. I have a son 28, a daughter 29, and my handicapped daughter, she's 27. So all my kids is grown. My handicapped daughter, she's in a placement for disabled challenged adults. So all the rest of my kids, they married, they got kids of their own. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes.
know what it's like to be a mother and a grandmother. I'm a grandmother of 8. I have 4 granddaughters and 4 grandsons. But it's like I'm not even in their life right now because of the whole
Well, yeah. Well, I'm a
situation.
grandmother too, but I can't even be a grandmother.
Right, right. So I know what it's like. And so today,
Because my daughter. Mm,
and so yeah, because
mm,
this situation caused such a interruption that
yeah.
it damaged my
Yes,
life
it
with my
did.
children. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it
Where
did.
I couldn't even really be there to be the mother that I really wanted to be because I was too busy trying to run
Right.
away, and then I was caught up trying to have this career, this dream, chasing my music career at a young age in my 20s and early 30s. I'm in the music industry, only to find out that the music industry wasn't what I thought it was. You understand? Because I started walking in doors that wasn't even, I saw a lot of
Yeah.
things behind closed
A
doors
lot
in
of
the
dark
music
stuff.
industries, drug dealing and lots of drugs on the table. And when you walk inside one door, you can't say nothing. You understand what I'm saying? You have to keep your mouth closed. You can't say what's going on or else you'll get hurt. You understand what I'm saying?
That's basically
So
what the relationships we've been in.
right, right.
So
So for
what's the
me,
point?
to be an artist and for me to, have to fear for my life even in the
Keep your
music
mouth shut.
industry and traveling and promoting and doing promo tours and and being an artist, and I'm sitting here in the studio trying to like record music, and I would come to work in the studio with a black eye and try to cover my face up with makeup. You understand what I'm saying? And I would come to work and have a jealous husband at home who I was scared that when I would leave the studio and go home, it was hard for me because my children's father was on my ass. You understand? And I was scared to even go on tour because he just had so much, just so much control. And so I
Yeah.
had to keep it
Yeah.
hid. Here I
You know
am
what?
putting
And then what's
yeah.
so crazy about my situation, I didn't even realize until I got out of that relationship how much
Mhm.
control, because he was so slick with it.
Right.
He wasn't
Mhm.
like aggressive and trying to tell me what to do, but
Mhm.
he always second guessed everything I said.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it really took me to get out of that relationship. See,
And
oh
yeah.
wow, because he
You
had
know
a
what? I
hold
live
over me.
and even after I left my situation, that's Nancy, my witch. Even when I left my situation, it took me 4.5 years because I was still living in fear. After I escaped
Yeah,
my
yeah,
children's
yeah,
father,
yeah.
I
Same.
found myself still looking over my shoulder because I was afraid he
Right.
was going to keep coming after me. Because there was times when I tried to move and he found out where I was. Even when he was
Mm.
in prison after he did get sentenced, the day that he was, I said a couple of days before he released from prison, he found out where I was. And he had called my phone and said what he was going to do to me, and I had to call the police, and I had to get no trespassing signs to put on my grass and my window, and I had my neighbors. I had to, put pictures up by my children's father, and so I had some guys who was protecting me, and they wouldn't let him come nowhere near me. And I found
Mm.
myself having to later move. You understand? I was scared. And because my children's father lived in the same town as my mother. So I couldn't even go home to visit my mother because I was scared that if I go home to visit my mother, that he would know I was there. You understand? So on the holidays, I wouldn't even go home to see my mother because I was scared my children's father was going to kill me. You understand? So instead, I lived in fear for 5 years until I got the guts to finally go home and see my mom. And one day I went to the store and he came in the store, and I damn near I was shook. I was so scared. He came in the store and he walked behind me. He was with his girlfriend, and I was scared that he was gonna like go outside to get his gun and come back in the store and blow my brains out. Do you
See,
understand?
that's what I'm going through right now because I feel sick to my stomach. I can't. Anytime I try to work something out where he can't see his son, it ends up in an argument,
Right.
or he tries to trigger, say certain things for me to hang up. It's the manipulation, the lying, the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to do. I tell him go to court. Let's get mediation so you can get days. Oh, I shouldn't have to do it. Yes, you do. You show. I have proof of you not doing what you need to do for your son. You told me what to do. You said you don't have to do nothing
Mm-hmm.
besides pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
So come on. I don't know what to do. You got a car. You pay money to get a car, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to pay 150 to get mediation.
You could go to the clerk of court and you can file and ask for a hearing, and they could schedule you a court date. You know what I'm saying? And you could have a mediator. Okay, I don't know if you ever had. I don't. Have you ever had proof of domestic violence where you went to the hospital and
No, no,
see
no,
in my
no.
situation I suffered domestic violence so bad that
Well,
I
he
I
threw me off the stairs.
mm,
Threw me off the stairs. He choked me a couple times. He hit
mm,
me.
mm-hmm. Cause see there was a
That's
time.
far as it.
Yeah, because see, in my situation, each time I called the cops and I had him arrested, I had a history of repeated domestic violence with him where, I kept having him arrested. You understand what I'm saying? So I started it so therefore the city was aware of him, assaulting me. And so therefore, because we had a history of him, me suffering domestic violence with the court, I had proof. And so therefore I had later got with the I had a good lawyer team and activists who backed me where I was able to file a hearing, and even when he got locked up, he said that he didn't want anything to even do with his kids, and he signed a waiver giving up all his rights as a father. Because he was in prison, and even when he got
Yeah,
out,
well, I got hurt with that too. Because
and
he's like, well,
even
if
and
I'm paying for
even
a child, I'm
right.
paying for a child. You need to go. You need to
Right,
find
you know what
yourself
I'm
back
saying?
right.
And so he pretty much gave up all his parental rights, saying that he didn't want nothing to do with his kids. And even after he got out of prison, he started making other babies with other females. And so the weird thing about that is that when my kids became grown, old enough to start seeking out their own father, once they got in their own 20s, they would go and see him, and they was all excited to have their father back in their life, only to find out that he had, over 20 kids by different women, and some of his kids' mothers passed away. You understand what I'm saying? And so each time he had me pregnant, he had two other chicks pregnant. And he had kept it hid. I knew about one son that he had before me and him got together, right? But it
Right.
wasn't until after I had my first child by him that I discovered that he had another person pregnant. Then I discovered he had somebody else pregnant. And so it just went on from there. By the time I left him, I had four kids by him. And by the time I left him, he had what, one, two, three, four, five. He had about 5 or 6 kids already by the time I left him. So with my four kids, that made about 10 kids, right? And so after
Oh,
I left him, each time he went to prison and got out, because he was assaulting all his baby mothers. He was beating all their asses. And he was a drug dealer, so he would get drug busted. And plus, for assaulting people and shooting people because he had gun charges. So he would go to prison, and each time he got out, he would get out and make another baby. And so he would get several other women pregnant. Wasn't taking care of none of his kids. The judge even threatened to give him a vasectomy if he got anybody else pregnant. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is how bad it was. And so
it's not
long
bad.
and so
I'm
and
making
so
my situation bad. No, no, no,
and right,
no,
and
no,
so
no.
long story short, he ended up reaping and sowing what he did, because my children's
Right.
father found himself in the hospital where he almost died. He was in a coma. He was in a coma, and he went through this twice. He was in the hospital, high blood pressure, diabetes. Because now he's like, I'm 51, so he's like 53, 54. He's overweight now, but he found himself in the hospital in a coma twice. You know what I'm saying? Now he,
It was a wake up call.
Yeah, so now he can't really take care of himself. He's with one of his kids' mothers, And so this is a sad situation. You understand what I'm saying? And so, my kids had to grow up knowing that their father was a drug addict, drug dealer, woman beater, gun charges, and it's crazy, And in the process, my youngest daughter, my baby, she's 26, and now she's gay. She's been gay, and she was in the closet when she was in high school, and so she didn't come out the closet till she was like 19, and she was afraid of what people would think. So my daughter's 26, and she's been out the closet now since she was about 20. You know what I'm saying? And so she's in a relationship with her partner, and that's another situation that I had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Raising a daughter who is, who's gay.
Right.
And so I have a
You wasn't
daughter.
expecting that.
Right, I wasn't expecting that at all, And so to have a daughter that's gay and to be somebody who suffered domestic violence, and plus I'm a rape survivor, so I've been raped, I suffered domestic violence. I know like to have my children, they dad in prison, you understand, and go through the situation with my mom and my own dad. So, I had to live this life, you feel me? And then I had to walk away from my own music career, which I was like, okay, so that career was shattered. You understand what I'm saying? Because of everything I went through. But I learned that the industry, it was a catch-22. So I didn't really feel as though I missed nothing because I had to heal. You know what I'm saying? So for me, once upon a
Yeah, people
time,
don't really understand.
yeah, once upon a time, popular, famous, I had all that. I had the houses, and you understand what I'm saying? And so going through what I went through, it's like, okay, I was hurt because my music career should have went a lot further, and it didn't because I had too much shit on my plate. You feel me? And
Right.
so I had to pretty much take time for myself. And so now I'm just blessed to be alive because
Yeah.
I don't look like nothing that I've been through. You feel me?
Right.
So today people can't even look at me,
I don't understand
and
it.
people
People get
can't
mad
even
at
look
me
at
because
me and see that I've been through all this. You
yeah,
know what
I'm
I'm
supposed to be a
saying?
drug addict. I'm supposed to be addicted to something, and
Right.
I'm not.
Right. And
I'm
me
look,
either. You feel me? So today,
he's not the only relationship. It's just about every relationship.
right. So and
Just
so
that was
because
just the word, the
and
last
see
one.
and so because of what I've been through, I made a promise that I would never ever get myself put on drugs, none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
When I was young in my 20s or 30s, I experienced what it was like to smoke weed. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Oh, of
I
course.
used to smoke weed, and it was a time when I used to smoke cigarettes, and so I had to let go of all that. Like I said, I was drinking because of the industry. So yeah, bottles of liquor, of course, you drink and you do all that. So I know what it's
Right.
like to, smoke weed. I know what it's like to smoke cigarettes. I know what it's like to become an alcoholic because I had to cover my own pain. And therefore I became an alcoholic trying to cover my own pain. I was hurting. So I
Right.
turned to the bottle. Then I found myself addicted to pills, prescription pills. And so I started popping pills. You understand what I'm saying? And so I had to really get help for my situation. And so now today, alcohol free, pill free. I don't smoke shit. I
Congratulations.
don't smoke no
Yeah.
weed. I don't smoke cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I might have a glass of white wine. You feel me? And
Right.
so that's as far as it goes with me. So I had to let go of liquor, period, because I was an alcoholic. You understand? And so
It
four
runs through
years
the family.
ago, so
Does it
for
run through the family?
yeah, I mean, I was so addicted to alcohol, I started pissing out blood. You know what I'm saying? So it almost took my liver. So I'm a survivor. I know what it's like to overcome, alcoholism. I know what it's like to overcome domestic violence. I know what it's like to overcome rape. I know what it's like to overcome being beaten and battered. I know what it's like to overcome having to walk away from a career that you were supposed to make it in, and you see everybody else who you grew up with in New York City, they famous now, they stars. You looking at all your classmates, everybody's doing good. But behind closed doors, everybody got shit that people's not aware of. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right.
so today, I'm just blessed to have my life and have my health. You feel me? And to be
Right.
healthy
People don't
today
appreciate that.
and be on my
And your
own.
peace.
Right. And
Your
so
peace.
yeah,
Well.
for these past 2 years, I've been single and celibate. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been in a
Both.
relationship.
Both.
I haven't been
Both.
sexually active or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So for the past 2 years,
But
I've been on my own and I've been on this spiritual journey, and so the journey is real,
that relationship, I had a big awakening. So
Right.
go through heartbreak and go through awakening.
Right. Exactly.
A young baby,
Exactly.
all these, man, it was, those first couple of
Right,
years.
and I'm surprised we don't even have more people on this live because if I was doing a free tarot reading, I have every damn body up here, right? And so now it's only like,
No, this is it's taking weight off of my shoulders because it's like I've been want to express this, I've been want to
right,
hear, at least
right,
have somebody in comment
right,
to talk to and listen to their
right,
story and go back and
right.
forth. Somebody who understands because
Exactly.
not my
Exactly.
family nobody don't understand
Exactly.
because they see me when I was going through all this. I'm still
Right.
cooking, I'm still cleaning, I'm
Right.
still doing this, and
Right.
yeah, I might have been yelling, I might have attitudes and stuff
Right.
like that, but I'm still doing all these things. Girl, you
Right.
didn't even know how much pain I was going through in this time by
Exactly.
myself.
Exactly. Exactly. So, for the few people that's here, the few 11 people, I appreciate you guys, for tuning in, and I see your comments in the comment section. You said taking drugs or drinking doesn't give it any more right of abuse. Right. It's crazy. So, it really is a sad situation. And I'm surprised we don't have more people on this live. You know what I'm saying? Because
How many people?
if I was doing a reading, a free reading, I had like 300, 400, 500 people up here right now. You know what I'm saying? If I if if I was doing a damn Virgo reading, everybody would have their ass up on this damn live. You know what I'm saying? People would be blowing up my phone trying to call in. But because I'm not doing a
They're
free
not ready.
Virgo
They're
reading,
not ready to talk about these
right,
subjects.
right, right.
They're not ready. They're not
But when
healed.
I'm up here
They're not
doing something
healed.
that's real, like this right here, you can't even get no motherfucking support. You know what I'm saying? You don't have people that's up here wanting to,
That's why people keep
support
that to themselves.
to
It's
support
separate.
this situation. And that shit is sad. You understand what I'm saying? Because this
Yeah.
is why I don't have, the family support. This is why I don't have that circle of friends. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because a lot of people, and it really fucked up because, a lot of people down me because of my past lifestyle. And then a lot of people hate
Yeah.
me because I survived it and I'm still beautiful.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm going through
And
right
so
now.
and so today, yeah, I lived a past life that was fucked up and emotional where, I got my ass kicked, but today
Yeah,
you
no.
can't even look at me with that shit. I'm strong, you know what I'm saying? I know right from wrong
I'm not
today.
here. I'm not out here
Right.
having sex.
I'm not in the streets.
I'm
I'm
not
not
no drug
right.
addict. I'm
Right.
not
I'm
no
not no drug
alcoholic.
addict. Right. I'm
I'm
not no
not
drug addict. I'm
out
not
here
no
acting
alcoholic. Right.
belligerent.
You feel me? I'm not no
I'm
prostitute.
not
You know?
overweight.
Right. Exactly, girl. What? Yes. That's right, Nancy. Even Nancy, my witch Nancy,
You're right.
she my
Yeah, go
co-producer.
for it. If you just ask me the questions and just talk to me, you'll see I've
Right.
been through a lot in
Right.
my life. I
Exactly.
got people jealous of me
Right.
for
Right.
no fucking reason.
Right, exactly. And so I have a lot of people that be
Hate
hating
me.
on me.
Hate me.
Right, hate
Hate
the
me
shit out of
for
me. You understand?
for nothing.
Because I'm a strong woman. You feel me?
Right.
Because I don't look
Right.
like the fucked up person that the shit that I've been through. You feel me? I have a
Right.
nice ass shape. I take care of myself. Like I tell people, a lot
Right.
of people look at me and they think I'm only 35, or close to 40. But people find out that I'm 51, they like get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then when they found out that I got 5 grown kids and 8 grandkids, they like, oh hell no. And I'm like, yeah. You understand? So I don't even look
Yeah,
like
I
my
understand. I'm going through that right now
I don't
with
even
the
look like the
community on
journey
their
that I
head.
come from. You feel me? I don't even look like the path that I come from. So God is good. You feel me? God is
Right.
good. And so that's why I'm just blessed every morning when I'm able to wake up and and say thank you Jesus for keeping me alive and allowing me to wake up and see another day. You feel me? Because I was supposed to have been dead a long time ago. I've been
Right.
through so
I
much
say
shit
that
in my
all the
life.
time for myself. Yep.
I had people who tried to kill me and I'm
Right.
still here. You understand? I don't have plenty of guns put there to the back of my head and to my stomach and all that shit. Guns put to my face and I'm still here.
Right.
I'm still here to
Right.
talk about it. I'm a survivor. I can speak on these things. And so that's why today I am a healer. I am a light worker. I am an empath. I am a spiritual
Right.
medium because I connect
Right.
the spirit so strongly. Spirit has held on to me throughout my whole entire life through all the bullshit
Right.
I've been through. You know what I'm saying? When people
Right.
say, oh, well, she's crazy because she's a tarot reader or she's crazy because she's the devil, she's a demon, and she worship all this crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, to each his own. I'm like, I'm connected to spirit for a reason because I'm still here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still here. I'm not only a
Yep.
survivor of domestic violence, I'm a cancer survivor twice.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? I almost died on a hospital bed when I had cervical, ovarian cancer. I had thyroid cancer and almost died and had a heart attack at work. Okay, I almost died and had a severe stroke. So I'm a survivor. You feel me? So I've had things that should have killed me and I'm still here. So spirit got me here for a reason. And so this is why I'm here to give back and I help out so many other people. And when I hear young ladies get at me and they want to book a private reading or, and I hear women say, well, is he coming back? And the only damn connection you got with this dude is sex. You understand what I'm saying? The only connection they got with this dude is sex. Or the sexual chemistry's there, the sex is good. I know he loves me. But behind that, he got a wife and kids at home, and he got baby mamas out the ass, and he got side chicks out the ass, and you sit here still waiting on this motherfucker to come back.
I'm sorry for laughing, but
and you can't go and to think about it, and the thing. And the thing,
or anybody else's, it irks me because I'm like, come on, like.
And then the thing that's bad is, and then the thing that's fucked up is that the only time you get to see this person is late at night, because they have to cheat and sneak out and leave their wife to come see them. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like you can't go nowhere in public with this motherfucker because he's married. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like he's going to let you fuck up his marriage. You understand what I'm saying? He's not going to put you in public. So therefore you remain a secret. And while he's keeping the side chick here, he got other side chicks, other baby mamas. You understand what I'm saying? And so he's going around fucking this bitch and that bitch, coming back, having oral sex with you, her, catching all types of shit, bringing it back and forth, STD. Everybody got the same shit because everybody done fucked around with the same person. And this is why I be telling females, you gotta get your love back for yourself, value yourself, know your worth. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell you nothing wrong because I done been there, done that, and did that. I know that chapter. I've been on this world now for 51 years. You understand what I'm saying? Once upon a time, I was in my 20s, my 30s. You understand? So I know what that shit is like. I know it's like to be in my early 40s and have somebody manipulate the hell out you. You think they love you and they really don't. They don't even love their motherfucking self. Because when a person love their self, they respect their self. And when a person respect their self, they respect their value. They know their worth. They don't go out there fucking up and fucking around and doing stupid shit. You feel me? So the only people that be out there doing the dumb shit is people who don't give a fuck about themselves.
They still come back to me trying.
Right. Exactly.
They get highly disappointed.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you
Come on.
you got to know your worth today.
Come on.
You have to know your worth today. Because a lot of people out here, and it's like, how could this person possibly give a fuck about you when they'll give a fuck about themselves? You know what I'm saying? If you out here fucking somebody and you having oral sex with this person and he's out there fucking around and he putting his mouth on 3, 4, 5 other bitches, you understand what I'm saying? Eating their ass, and you don't know who these bitches been with because they fucking with him. That means they done fucked around with other people because of their lifestyle. And so now he out here having sex with a female who's out here having sex with multiple other partners. You know what I'm saying? And that's when STD comes into play. That's how people get mad when they find out later they got herpes or syphilis or gonorrhea or tree or some type of bacteria infection because they done got out here.
When I didn't know myself.
Right.
That was one of my issues.
Exactly. Right. And that's when you wake up, when you discover this motherfucker that affected you because he done got out here with his nasty ass and was out here horning around. That's a fucked up situation. That's a fucked up situation to be in. To have to be intimate with somebody and to share this this amount of intimacy with somebody who you think you could trust and you feel like the vibe is good, the chemistry is good, you two relate to each other, when behind closed doors the reality is you don't relate at all because this person's getting ready to go back home to their family. You're helping this person to live a double lifestyle. And then when his wife finds out that you sleep with her husband, you got women out here today that whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? They drive around with guns.
I don't think about whooping ass. I think it's going to be more.
Right. You got females that drive around with guns in the car today. They'll kill a bitch.
Right.
You feel
Yeah,
me?
they keep yeah,
And even females
your
that be
males
cheating,
get lips to people
and
showing their true
you
self
know, and
now.
then you got dudes that if you cheat on your husband and cheat on your man and he finds out, he's gonna fuck around and be ready to kill somebody. And this is why a lot of
Mhm.
females find themselves fucked up because they don't cheat on their man. And so now that man's gonna end up beating your ass when they find you, and then he gonna end up putting a slug in somebody. And that's why I tell people at the end of the day,
I can't go for this.
long story short,
I
it's
think
a
myself.
right, it's a
No.
toxic karmic situation when you gotta run and hide and dive and you gotta be afraid. And then when you get caught up out there, all hell break loose. It ain't even worth it. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't even worth it.
I'm still. You, see, I'm 39, but I like to date older men, and
Yeah.
they're terrible.
Man, I'm telling you, it's
Well, I'm not saying all of them, but I said the ones I had talked to, I'm like,
right.
what is going on?
Right. And see, I see people up here now, like Sabrina, she's sharing her story. Yeah, exactly. You know. So like I said, shout out to everybody who's on the live right now that's listening that can relate to this, you know. So shout out to Sabrina. I see all your comments. You know, you said go tell his wife. It was hard for me to get used to the person being good to me. You know, so thank you, Sabrina, for sharing all your comments. You said you would dodge the bullet. She's grateful. Kid Bear says she's a survivor. So Kid Bear's up here. She says she can, you know, she's a
Survivor.
survivor. You know, so shout out to Kid Bear, and shout out to Sabrina who's up here. You know, in the comment section. Thank you, ladies. You know what I'm saying? And I have 16 likes, you know, thumbs up. So shout out to everybody who's giving me a thumbs up on this segment, you know, because this is an important segment. This is a real segment. You know, it's sad that we don't have more people up here on this live right now because like I said, if I was doing a damn Virgo free reading, I would have 400, 500 people in this live. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be calling in, blowing up the phones, you know, wanting to know what's going on with their reading, wanting to know, you know, is he coming back? Is she coming back? But now because we up here speaking on some real shit, you know, we can't even get motherfuckers to come up here on the live. You understand what I'm saying? So that's sad, you
They're
know?
not ready, obviously.
Right. So we only got
They're
11
not
people
ready.
up here. We only have 11 people up here, and that's a damn shame. You know what I'm
11
saying?
people.
11 people.
Oh,
That's sad.
that's good. It's good 11 people though.
Right,
But
right.
it
So
should be
shout out to the
way, way
11
more because
people.
it goes on a
You said I saw
consistent
this video, so
basis.
I
I
came
know
for
in the
support.
black
Thank you, Sabrina,
community,
for the support.
it's
Exactly.
heavy.
Everyone will be, and even Kibia said the same thing. She said 100. You know what I'm saying? If I was giving a free Virgo reading right now, I would have almost 500 motherfuckers on this live. You feel me? And that's crazy. You know,
Right.
it's crazy. I got Scorpio Moon in the building. How you doing, Scorpio Moon? How you doing? Thank you for the support. You know, thank you for the support. You know what I'm saying? So to the 12 people that's here, thank you for the support. You know. And so yeah, I'm on the phone and we have a caller online. Caller, give your name but let them know who you are. Hello? I don't know what happened. So we lost that drop call. Okay, we lost that call. So anyway, I appreciate her for calling in and sharing her story. You know, if it's anybody else who feel like they want to call in and you know, and you want to speak on your situation and you want to speak on your story, you know, feel free to call in and share. You know what I'm saying? If you want to call in, that phone number is 347-483-9616 before we end this live, okay? If it's anybody else who wants to call in and share a little bit about what you've been through, I'll give it another minute. The phone number is 347-483-9616. So if we have anybody else who wants to call in, you know, please do so right now, okay? Before we end this live, because I'm getting ready to shut the phone lines down. Hope she's okay. This is why you're my favorite tarot reader. I appreciate that, Mac. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hurt people can heal and help others. Exactly. Because often when people are hurt and they haven't healed correctly, what happens is hurt people find themselves hurting other people, you know? So it's true what they say. You know, when a person is hurt and they haven't gotten the proper help to heal correctly, they turn around and they hurt other people, you know? So it becomes a repeated pattern and cycle. You're welcome, Sabrina. You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate you guys who's on the live and you know, y'all took the time out to come here and show your support and your love and listen to, you know, the stories that were shared tonight, you know, because it is real. So I'm getting ready to shut this live down, and you know what I'm saying? I'll come back later on with the Virgo reading from my Virgos. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna come back tonight with a Virgo reading. I'm not because they didn't come up here on the live tonight and show me no love. So I'll come back with a Virgo reading probably Monday. You know what I'm saying? Sunday, Monday. I'll make people wait. I ain't even gonna come up here with a Virgo reading right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait till Monday. How you doing, Scorpio Moon? I wish I had other Scorpios. I did a Scorpio reading. That's why when I be trying to do other readings for other signs, they don't really come up here when I try to do other live readings for other signs. I wish I have other more people that would come up here and like jump in on the live readings. You said, girl, you are worth more than what these guys are treating you. Exactly, exactly, exactly. I know that's right. That's respect. So with that being said, tonight, you guys, I appreciate those of you who jumped on the live tonight and you show support for this. I really do. Scorpio Moon, Sabrina, Mac, I appreciate all you guys, okay? Thank you so much. I'm getting ready to shut it down now. All right. God bless. Love always.